And we're back for our daily NBA best bets here on Tuesday, January 6th. We've got 6 games today in the National Basketball Association, which means we have 5 best bets for obviously 5 out of 6 of those games. The one game we will not be covering today, actually the first half of the NBC doubleheader, and that'll be the Miami Heat and Minnesota Timberwolves. Just don't like anything from that game, but we have best bets for every other game today. So folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA best bets here on the channel. Earlier today, we posted our college basketball best bets. So go make sure to check that out. That'll be linked down below. And also, earlier in the week, we posted our college football predictions, obviously, for the semifinals of the college football playoffs. We've still got the Fiesta and Peach Bowls remaining. Ole Miss versus Miami, Oregon versus Indiana 2 on Thursday and Friday. So make sure to check out that video. Again, linked in the description down below. And later today, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time, our NFL wildcard predictions. Kicking off the NFL playoffs this week. Huge couple games, a huge handful of games. You're not going to want to miss that video. Again, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern for that. Okay, on to the first now of our 5 best bets for this NBA slate. Kicking things off with the earliest game between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Indiana Pacers. Cleveland minus 5.5. I mean, I'm glad to see the Pacers are getting this type of respect, but really? Here's the thing about Indiana. They are playing more competitive basketball games. Like, they are getting close. I know the Pacers are on a huge losing streak. They've lost 12 straight games. They've now, tanked their way to a 6-30 record, which just, it doesn't feel right seeing the Indiana Pacers at 6-30. It disgusts me personally. But the objective has been clear this year. You gotta lose, gotta tank for DeBonsta, and when Halliburton and DeBonsta are playing on the same team next year, all will be right over in Indiana. But the losing has to continue, obviously, this year. And I understand the Pacers have been playing competitive games in their last 3, right? That's 4, actually. Game against the Rockets, only lose by 7 on the road in Houston. At home against the Magic, only lose by 2 points. Home game against the Spurs, only lose by 10. And their last game over in Orlando, Florida, only losing by 8 points in another encounter with the Orlando Magic. So now they welcome in Cleveland, but I don't think the Pacers can keep up with the scoring of the Cavaliers. I know this team is without Donovan Mitchell tonight. I still don't think it matters. Obviously, that's a big loss, but Cleveland's looking at this game and saying, okay, it's Indiana. Even though we're on the road, we should still be able to get it. I don't know why Mitchell's out. I mean, other than the fact, obviously, the reason is rest, but I don't know why they're doing it considering this is not on a back-to-back. They just played on Sunday, and they don't play tomorrow. They play again on Thursday and Saturday, actually both games against Minnesota, one in Cleveland, one in Minneapolis, because who makes the schedules, I don't know. But I guess the Cavs are just looking at this game and saying, okay, we should have no problems with this team. The Pacers aren't very good, and our style should be obviously good enough to beat them. That's why I guess they're doing the Mitchell rest here. Sure. We've seen the Cavs and the Pacers already play twice this season, and the Cavs won both of those encounters. One was in Cleveland, one was in Indiana. The game in Cleveland, the Cavs won by 11 points. In Indiana, they won by 16 points. And sure, no Mitchell tonight, but I still don't think it matters. The Cavs are still with Evan Mobley. Darius Garland's playing. He's healthy for now. We'll see about Jared Allen and Dean Wade. Both of those guys are going to be questionable for this game. The only for sure out tonight is Donovan Mitchell. And I know the Cavs have massively underperformed. They're only 20-17, currently hold the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs, but it is what it is. I still think this team's got way too much firepower for this version of the Indiana Pacers to deal with. Obviously, this version of the Pacers, who again have lost now 12 consecutive games, and let the losing continue, because this team wants nothing to do with winning in 2025 and 2026. Shout out to Pascal Siakam. Say it all the time, Spicy P has been killing it this season, and I do feel bad for Siakam because all he's ever known in terms of professional basketball has been winning. Obviously, a 2019 NBA champion with our 2018-2019 NBA champion with the Toronto Raptors, comes over to Indiana. They've done nothing but win and made the playoffs since Siakam has showed up. Siakam's 2 years in Indiana has been an Eastern Conference Finals loss to the Boston Celtics and an NBA Finals appearance, an unfortunate Game 7 loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder, but they've done nothing but win in the Siakam/Hallie era. With Halliburton now, it is difficult for this team to contend and compete. And obviously, the org didn't really invest too much into winning this year. They just released Tony Bradley yesterday, which I guess was a move that had to happen considering how well Jay Huff has been in spots for them this year. And Isaiah Jackson, you're not going to get rid of him. And they're starting Micah Potter right now at the 5, which, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, Potter's not horrible, no offense to him, but it's just one of those moves that makes you think, okay, like, this is a full tanking team. Also, we're talking about no Donovan Mitchell tonight for the Cavaliers, no Benedict Mathurin still for the Pacers, no Isaiah Jackson still. He's got that concussion. We know Obi Toppin's been out since Halloween. So still a lot of injuries stacking up on this Indiana squad. I will say Andrew Nembhard has taken a step this season. Aaron Nesmith has been all right. I kind of expected a little bit more of Nesmith this year, but he is still averaging 15 points per game. It's just this team has such a lack of a bench. And there's not been an emphasis on winning this year. It's just as simple as that. And you can tell by just watching Pacers games, the spark, the momentum, the attitude is gone this season. And it's fair. I mean, you were right there. You were at the mountaintop. Game 7, you have a lead. Halliburton's hitting threes from, way beyond the arc. And obviously pops and tears his Achilles. It's just still one of the most brutal sports injuries. No, actually the most brutal sports injury ever, in my opinion, and the most influential sports injury of all time. The Indiana Pacers should be reigning NBA champions right now. And who knows how that affects the Thunder's timeline. I understand OKC's now lost back-to-back games and lost to the Hornets last night. What are we doing? If anything, it does give us better odds to bet to get back in on Thunder to win the championship. I just want to put that out there, okay? I'll be damned if that team loses to anybody 4 times in 7 games. I just want to put that out there. Regardless, though, I got to go with the Cavaliers. Even without Donovan Mitchell, we'll see, again, the status of both Dean Wade and Jared Allen. And both those guys are going to be questionable today. Wade with the knee injury, Allen with an illness. But I got to think the Cavs get this one done. They have already beat Indiana 2 out of 2 times so far. I believe they'll do it for a 3rd time. And on top of that, we do need them to cover 5.5 points. And I absolutely believe they'll be able to do so even without Spida playing. Give me Cleveland on the road, -5.5 against the Indiana Pacers. On to our second best bet of the video, we go to the Washington Wizards hosting the Orlando Magic. Okay, CJ McCollum might be the number 1 piece the Atlanta Hawks get back for Trae Young. What? So guys, you know what that means. The Wizards are trying, and if I'm the Wizards, I'm all for it. The Wizards have a chance to acquire Trae Young when he's still in his prime. Guys, people forget, Trae Young's only 27. He's 27 years of age. And they get a chance to get Trae Young at 27 for a 34-year-old CJ McCollum? What? And it looks like it's going to be the Wizards. Basically, Shams has already said Trae Young's getting traded. It's just a matter of where he's getting traded to. The teams that are on the top of Trae Young's list, I think, it's Miami, Washington has one more. I know the Lakers are on there, and it's one more. Personally, I love Trae Young. Absolutely. One of my favorite players in the league. I love watching Trae Young play basketball. Please no to the Lakers, with all due respect. Before Luka, sure. If we still had AD and we had, we're going Trae, Reeves, AD, Braun, you know what? Sure. I can't watch a basketball team with Trae Young and Luka Doncic on the same floor at the same time, man. I can't do it on the same team. I can't do it. I'm sorry. If that happens, and we're starting Austin Reeves too? I mean, what? Now, here's the thing about Trae Young. Whoever trades for Trae Young is going to get him at dirt cheap because the Hawks are just pretty dead set on not keeping him. They don't want to keep him around. They don't want to give him more money. And they feel like they have a new core and a new star, which is Jalen Johnson. They think Nickeil Alexander-Walker is going to be their guy at the 1 going forward, I would think. I'll just say this. I don't think it's the right move. I don't think it's the right move. Because why? The Hawks think they can win right now. If they didn't think they can win and they want to rebuild, sure. But they think this is a winning team. I'll tell you that the problem is not Trae Young. It's never been. It is what it is. What did CJ McCollum do for the team? I don't know. I mean, sure, CJ McCollum actually quietly has been putting together a really good year. He's averaging 19 points per game. And then we bring this up all the time. Empty stats. And this is, and trust me, I'm going to tie this all in together. But, I mean, are the Hawks really going to start a 34-year-old CJ McCollum to run with this team all game long? I mean, is that really the mindset? We're gonna start 34-year-old CJ McCollum. I don't think that's what they're, I mean, no way, right? They're going to have to bring McCollum off the bench. No, I forgot Reese Shea is going to have to be part of the trade. No, but no way they're trading Trae and Reese Shea, so now it's going to be a different deal. I assume they'd keep Reese Shea, move Reese Shea to the bench, and then now you're starting Nickeil Alexander-Walker, CJ McCollum, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Dyson Daniels. I just don't think that works. He's 34, so that's my point again. The Hawks think they can win. Why is Trae Young the guy you're trading? If you think you can win right now, I'd bail on Reece Shea, which I still wouldn't do that. If I'm Atlanta, okay, here's the thing. If I'm Atlanta, I don't think I can win right now, and that's the reason I'm trading Trae. The Hawks currently think, though, this is a contending team, because that's why they wanted Anthony Davis. Whatever. They're going to end up with CJ McCollum, I think, because whoever trades for Trae is going to get him at dirt cheap right now. So a lot of teams should be in on Young. What the Wizards are going to do tonight and continue to do until Trae is theirs, they're going to keep feeding CJ McCollum. Absolutely. Guys, CJ McCollum is going to look like a superstar until he's an Atlanta Hawk. And again, we bring up empty stats a lot, and the biggest example I always use is the Utah Jazz, and more specifically, Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen, I'm not denying he's a phenomenal player. Absolutely, Lauri Markkanen is really good at basketball. You look at his stats, and he's averaging 26 points per year, and you're like, what? Why does no team want Lauri Markkanen? Well, one, it's the money, but two, it's also he plays in the Jazz. And who else is going to take those shots? And this year, it's just him and Keontae George, and then you look at their record and say, oh, okay, that's why he averages 26 points per game, because his team loses by 20 points every single night. And he's on a team that's trying to tank, but they'll just leave Lauri out there with 4 guys who can't score. So obviously, Lauri Markkanen has to put up big numbers. Now, for McCollum's sake, okay, no one else really scored on the Hawks here except for Keyshawn George and Alex Sarr. I think Keyshawn George is going to be a phenomenal player. Obviously, I think the Wizards should obviously move on from McCollum so they can work with Trey Johnson more, and I assume they want a backcourt of Young and Johnson, which if I'm the Hawks, 100%. Love the move. Young core with Trae Young. Perfect. I mean, you don't need Trae to play lockdown defense, obviously, which if they were ever relying on that, obviously that would not be the way. But a young team with Trae, 100% I would sign up for that if I'm the Wizards. Have Trae be the guy that gets you out of this rebuild. Because now, next season, you can really pitch a free agent to come here. Okay, if I'm the Wizards next year, we're starting Trae Young, we're starting Keyshawn George, we're going to start Young, Trey Johnson, Keyshawn George, probably definitely Alex Sarr, and now, okay, we need a big. Which 4 can play for this team? Now you get Anthony Davis. Now that's a discussion that you might want to have. Okay, let's bring in AD, and now all of a sudden we've got 2 established stars with a young core, and with Alex Sarr, who was the former number 2 pick in the draft. Now you're talking. In terms of CJ McCollum tonight, they're going to feed this guy. McCollum's, again, has had a very, I don't want to say underappreciated, but just overlooked year so far this year. He's averaging 19. We need him to put up 19 points tonight. They're playing Orlando, who's not good at defense anymore, and trust me, they're going to run everything from McCollum tonight because they are trying to get him off the books, and they want Trae Young desperately, and they need the Hawks to bite. That's what's going to happen tonight. Give me CJ McCollum over 18.5 points at home against the Orlando Magic. On now to our third best bet of the video. We go to a matchup at the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee, between the Memphis Grizzlies and the San Antonio Spurs. Give me Memphis at home plus 5.5. I'm seeing 6.5 on some books, so you know what? Take that. Definitely if you can take it. I don't think Wembanyama's playing tonight. I don't think Wembanyama's playing. We already know Devin Vassell's not playing tonight. You may ask, why do I know that? Do yourself a favor and look who the San Antonio Spurs play tomorrow. Okay? You check. The Los Angeles Lakers. I'm not just saying this because I like the Lakers. It's a fact. Teams load up and bring everybody back and make sure they're 100% healthy to play the Los Angeles Lakers. That's the game that every team has circled on their calendar. Got to make sure we beat LA. That's what the Spurs are going to make sure they do. And I know Wemby's hurt. It's kind of. Still nagging injuries with Wembanyama. He's got a knee injury currently. Again, perfect. Don't play him tonight. Make sure he's back tomorrow night at ESPN against the Lakers. We need that Wemby versus Luka or Wemby versus LeBron poster on ESPN primetime. We need it. Vassell's already out today. They've already said Vassell's out. Wembanyama's questionable. I don't think Wemby's playing. Because again, every star player ever needs to return for Los Angeles Lakers basketball games. And I know Wemby, again, has been dealing with an injury. He did not play against the Spurs. Against the Portland Trail Blazers the other night. I get it. He's not coming back tonight, guys. No reason. Because if he plays tonight, he's not playing tomorrow night. That's why Vassell's not playing. Because any player in the league coming off an injury is not going to play back-to-back. They're going to bring him back tomorrow. I can almost guarantee it. So a short-handed San Antonio team, I think they struggle with Memphis. Guys, the Grizzlies are tough. And the Grizzlies have lost 4 games in a row back at home after this 4-game losing streak, and last 4 games, all really competitive L's. I mean, they've been right there. They just haven't been able to break through. How about that 4-point loss? I know it's Washington, but a 4-point loss at Washington. Overtime loss to Philadelphia. 2 back-to-back games in LA. You lose by 7 and 6 in back-to-back nights against the Los Angeles Lakers. Competitive games against a team that somehow, some way, yesterday had the 4th best record fourth best record in the NBA yesterday. Not joking. They were number 4 in the league. They're now back to 7 today after Houston and Denver won. But regardless, how did the Nuggets beat the Sixers with nobody playing? I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, Jalen Pickett scores 28 points, right? Julian Strawther shows up. Really? Zeke Naji. Okay. I'm taking the Grizz tonight. And we just need the Grizz to keep it close. Games at home. It's in Memphis. And the Spurs are without Devin Vassell and Victor Wembanyama. On top of that as well, Memphis, we'll see who plays. But I think there's a good chance it's just Coward who's out tonight. Cedric Coward, who does start, obviously, is out, I think, with a knee injury. I believe is the injury for him currently. Left ankle sprain, excuse me. John Morant's questionable. I think he's going to play. Vince Williams questionable. I think he's going to play. Other than that, we know what Memphis brings. Jalen Wells, who, my goodness, Jalen Wells against the Lakers. Man, that second game that Jalen Wells played against Los Angeles, I mean, I know he didn't have a great statistical couple games in LA shooting-wise, but that second game against the Los Angeles Lakers, man, no one else in Memphis was trying harder to win that game than Jalen Wells. And sure, they were shorthanded going into that second game. No John Morant, no Vince Williams. I get it. They were injured, very injured at that going into that second game. But man, Jalen Wells is not giving up. I mean, Jalen Wells in the fourth quarter took over that basketball game. And I know Memphis ended up losing, and I know they were up big until mid-third or really late third. But Jalen Wells played phenomenal basketball, hit a lot of mid-range shots, was driving to the hoop, was getting buckets. Cam Spencer, who I'm very high on, had a horrible second game against Los Angeles. As Spencer only scored 5 points, went 1 for 10 from the field, and 0 for 5 from the three-point line. And that's where, again, he specializes. I think Memphis gets Ja back. I think against Spencer is just maybe a case where he's just so much more dangerous off the bench because he's playing second units and he gets to come in and just provide that spark, and he'll run some sets with both him and Ja on the court. I expect Morant to be back. Jalen Wells is healthy. Jaren Jackson's healthy. Jock Landale, obviously, at the 5. I mean, don't forget, this is a team that is still massively missing Zach Edey at center. This is a team that's so much better with Edey on the court, and we have seen, again, we've seen that leap that Edey has already made this season. It's just a damn shame he's already dealing with his second injury of the year. And when I look at San Antonio, this is a team that's coming off loss to Portland. Don't look now, the Blazers continue to win games. Danny Adjiva and the guys over there. Portland goes to San Antonio and wins. Yes, though, it was the second night of a back-to-back for San Antonio, but they are coming off an L. They have now lost 2 of 3 after dropping the Jazz game, dropping to Cleveland, back-to-back wins over the Knicks and Pacers. They have, though, lost 3 of 5, and I think Memphis plays a competitive game tonight. Not saying the Grizzlies win it outright, but I think the Grizzlies will be close enough. So give me Memphis to cover the spread. It's plus 5.5, even though if you get it at 6.5, even better. Grizz plus 5.5 at home in Memphis against the San Antonio Spurs. Next up, we go to our second player prop of the video, and we go to the Los Angeles Lakers going on the road to take on the New Orleans Pelicans. And yes, you saw this right. Jackson Hayes over 5.5 points. Yes, we are betting on Jackson Hayes tonight. There's a reason for this. It's all dependent on how JJ plays this game, but if I think I'm right on this, I believe I'm right on this, I think Jackson Hayes is going to get quite a bit of looks because I'm looking at what the Pelicans do, and the second unit comes in. Who's stopping the lob threat at Jackson Hayes? We know what Luka does. When Luka shares the court with Jackson Hayes, which obviously is going to happen regardless of who's in, LeBron or Luka, because you know how the Lakers play for the most part, there's always at some point in the game, at all times, one of LeBron or Luka are in the game. One of them is basically manning the offense because AR is out right now. Guys, I like Yves Missy. The lob threat is there, though. I mean, again, Missy can get blocks. He's not as big as Jackson Hayes. Missy's listed at 6'11". He's really 6'10", I think. More 6'10" than 6'11". But that lob threat is there for Jackson Hayes tonight. Absolutely. And when it's not Yves Missy, they just go super small, and they don't have a center on the court. Or it's Derek Queen, who, again, I like, but undersized center. All I'm saying is the lob threat all night long should be there for Los Angeles against New Orleans. So that's why I'm taking Jackson Hayes. That's basically the only reason why. I think Luka is going to be able to throw multiple lobs to both DA and Jax. We know how much he likes throwing lobs to Jax. Hell, that's how most of Hayes' points come to be. But as long as Jackson Hayes plays about 20 minutes, which I think that's what he's going to get tonight. I know, again, the minutes are very, they're very inconsistent with Jackson Hayes because the way JJ coaches and the way JJ manages Jackson Hayes, either he really likes what he sees out of Jackson Hayes on a given night or he doesn't and he pulls him after his first rotational stint. I get it. I think Hayes is going to play well enough. And on top of that, this should be a Lakers blowout. It should be, to the point where we do get to see that second unit play quite a bit with Jackson Hayes, with Nick Smith, with Dalton Connect, with Jared Vanderbilt, because that's how the Lakers are operating right now. 9-man rotation. The starters obviously being Luka, Marcus Smart, Jake LaRavia, LeBron James, and DeAndre Ayton. And then obviously those 4 bench guys coming in. Vando playing a lot more than the other 4 bench players. But Jackson Hayes is going to get on the court. And again, Hayes' minutes are just situational. And it's just dependent on the night and really how JJ feels. But I'm glad Maxi Kleber has completely just worked his way out of everything. Lakers still without Gabe Vincent tonight. Rui Hachimura as well. Again, it's a 9-man rotation without Rui. When Rui comes back, Dalton Connect, get your ass back on the bench. When AR comes back, Nick Smith, get your ass back to the bench. We can go back to our normal rotation. Anyways, I think Jackson Hayes is going to get enough opportunity tonight. Last game against Memphis, 1 point in 14 minutes. But again, night before, 23 minutes, 12 points. I'm serious. Jackson Hayes is boom or bust. Let's go over every Jackson Hayes game in the last 7 or so. So again, the last Grizzlies game, 1 point in 14 minutes. It takes 1 shot. Against Memphis the game before, just 2 nights before, same team, same location, same everything. Jackson Hayes, 12 points in 23 minutes on 5 of 6 from the field. Again, most, if not all, of Jackson Hayes' opportunities are dunks. Okay, game before that against Detroit, 18 minutes, 5 of 5 from the field. There's some alley-oops in there, and 13 points with 3 free throws. Okay. Game before that against Phoenix, 5 minutes and 2 points. Game before that against the Clippers, 31 minutes, 8 points. I know there was an Ayton injury in there, but still, game before that against the Jazz, 22 minutes, 7 for 7 from the field, and 16 points. If you didn't know, Jackson Hayes doesn't miss shots against the Jazz. He's played 3 games against Utah all year long, and he has not missed a single shot against the Jazz, albeit it's only 12 for 12, but I just want to put that out there. Jackson Hayes in 2025 and 2026 has not missed a single shot against the Utah Jazz. And I guess technically the entire season, Jackson Hayes, he does technically shoot 78% from the field. Although everything's a dunk for Jackson Hayes for the most part, but that's okay. That's okay. We just need the alley-oop threat tonight for Jax. And again, it's all dependent on the opportunity and the minutes, because I do believe if he plays, he's going to find a way to get 6 points. It's not a lot, and for the most part, a lot of Jackson Hayes' numbers are, okay, either he goes well above 5.5 and he gets into the double digits, or he just doesn't score at all. But ultimately, we just need 3 dunks tonight out of Jackson Hayes. And as well, Jackson Hayes has gotten to the free throw line in each of his last 8 games. On average, or the bare minimum usually is 2 free throws that he hits per game. So essentially, if you want to really break it down, we need 2 dunks tonight out of Jackson Hayes. 2 dunks and we're in the clear. Because he'll hit 2 free throws, boom, 6 points. In a game in which I believe the Lakers should be able to win. Again, right now, we are on Lakers money line /spread boycott for the time being until one or 2 things. Austin Reeves comes back, or there's actual trades and actual moves made that gets me to believe the Lakers are actually somewhat serious about winning this year. And I complain all, this much, and yet the Lakers are still, record-wise, a top 5 team in basketball. How? I don't know how this is a thing. They're just, I don't know, man. If you just read headlines and reactions to how the Lakers play, you'd think you think this was, I don't know, 2022 all over again, and we got Carmelo Anthony and Russell Westbrook starting. But no, the Lakers are actually 11 games over 500 and probably go to 12 over after tonight, and then San Antonio happens. But then after that, okay, I'm looking at the Lakers schedule. Okay, beat the Pels tonight. We should honestly just set everyone tomorrow against the Spurs. They're getting ready for us. I just lose on purpose. Who cares? Then, all right, Bucks, Kings, Hawks, Hornets, Blazers, Raptors, Nuggets without Jokic, Clippers, Mavs, Bulls, Cavs, Wizards. I mean, what's stopping the Lakers to win out in the month of January after the Spurs game? I mean, the Lakers are standing in their own way, but there's no real elite team. Just want to put that out there. And then February is kind of tough. Knicks, Warriors, Thunder, Spurs. Yes, this is the Warriors. The Lakers always suck against the Warriors. But anyways, I'm taking Los Angeles tonight. Give me Los Angeles. Well, I think they win. That's not the bet. Give me Jackson A's. Jackson A's over 5.5. Lakers should win. I'll be watching. Obviously, I watch every Lakers game. But I just need Jax to get the opportunity and Jax to get the dunks. Give me Hayes over 5.5 on the road. Final best bet of the video, it's the late night NBC spot. I know whoever's on commentary tonight for NBC, probably Reggie Miller. I know he's dreading going into this game, and the NBC commentators are really just looking around thinking, seriously, we're in Sacramento? We dead ass? Mavericks versus Kings on primetime on NBC. Obviously, the NBA doesn't have yet, not really what the NFL does, but flexing games. They kind of do it sometimes, but it has to be like multiple months in advance. Dallas and Sacramento get stuck on an NBC game, on a primetime game at 8 o'clock, something that was obviously scheduled 4 months ago. Now it's the only game on at late night NBA. Okay, it's fine. I will be watching the San Jose Sharks. I will be watching hockey instead, which, you know what? Some nights I have, I put them both on. Thank you, YouTube TV. I can put both the games on at the same time, but some of these nights I don't talk about hockey on the channel, guys. I like the NBA, not going to lie. NHL's been more entertaining this year. And I don't know. It's a very random point. I don't know. NHL's so much more enjoyable than the NBA. I still watch the NBA a lot. I'd argue I probably might watch more NHL now, honestly. Just because, like, I can get excited about the NHL. The NBA regular season, it's like, all right, like, I know what good teams are going to be in the playoffs. I still watch. Like, I watch the Lakers every single night. But 20 out of the 30 teams are going to get a chance at the end of the year. I'm watching the NHL right now, and the San Jose Sharks are having an incredible season, and yet, them in Utah, and that Utah team's phenomenal, Clayton Keller and company, and yet those two teams are in a dead heat right now. There's obviously multiple other teams. The Kings are in that playoff chase. I mean, there's so many teams, and we're only halfway through the year, and yet, the West is stacked in the NHL right now, I feel like. I mean, the Kraken are involved in that wild card race. In the NBA, if you're just semi-decent, you're making the playoffs. And there's a lot of good teams in the NHL, and obviously, are the Sharks and Kings and Kraken and Mammoth on that same level of the top teams? Obviously not. But, like, all these teams are just fighting to make the playoffs, and here, it's like, who doesn't want to make the playoffs? Like, all right, like, who wants, all right, who's going to make the play-in this year? A team that's 10 games under 500? It's just it's my thing. I don't know. Anyways, like, I'll be honest, like, Mavericks, Kings, it doesn't move me. We have a chance to make something off it, and that's Sacramento plus 5.5. Yeah, no, it is. It's the right play, I think. We just saw this game at the end of December, and it was actually a victory for the Sacramento Kings. Same exact spot. Game was in Sacramento. Kings won it outright. Now, I know Dallas was injured going to that game. Anthony Davis was not playing. Mavericks probably without PJ Washington tonight. Yeah, Washington is doubtful. I know Sacramento's lost 5 straight games, and they have not won since that last Dallas game, and we just picked against them the other night against the Milwaukee Bucks for a good reason, but I'm going to go with the Kings. Zach LaVine's back, and I don't know if that's good for them or not. LaVine can score, and he returns against the Bucks and scores 20 points in 36 minutes. So there goes we're going to bring him back slowly. Nope. Immediately get back out there, pal, and play 36 minutes. We need to bump your trade value a little bit because we need somebody to take this contract. But I think the Kings can play this game close. No Keegan Murray tonight sucks. No DeMontis Sabonis still, obviously. We still got Westbrook. DeMar DeRozan and his different pace of play than the rest of the team. Can someone tell me why the Sacramento Kings got him? The Mavericks are decent. They can score. Obviously, Anthony Davis is playing tonight. Is his time limited here? 100%. Cooper Flagg's playing good basketball. I like Ryan Nembhard. I like Brandon Williams, too, who's playing the guard for them as well. I like Max Christie. I watched that last game between Sacramento and Dallas, and I was very disappointed in the Mavericks. I know the Kings run a little bit of a run at that point, winning 2 of 3 for the first time in a while. Westbrook played phenomenally well, though, in that game. Russ went 8 for 16 from the field, but 5 of 9 from the three-point line, 21 points. They actually started Keon Ellis in that game, and I know Doug Christie doesn't like Keon Ellis, but they played him quite a bit in that Mavericks game. He scored 21 points on 5 of 10 from the three-point line, 8 for 15 from the field, and there was no Keegan Murray in that game. Murray was out via injury, and Sacramento still won. The only difference in this game, obviously, is Anthony Davis returns in the starting lineup for Daniel Gadford, who played in the last game, but I don't think 80 alone's enough for a 12-point flip. I think the Mavs probably win, but giving Sacramento at home in a late-night spot on the West Coast 5.5 points. I mean, this game is starting at 10 o'clock local time for Dallas. I'm going to take Sacramento in a late night spot, weird, funky game on NBC, something that I'm guarantee you NBC is not excited to broadcast on national television tonight. I'm going to go Sacramento at home, though, plus 5.5 to cover against the Dallas Mavericks. Should be a pretty crappy basketball game, but if I can say anything, probably quite a bit of scoring. So get excited for that. Expect a lot of perimeter shooting, obviously, out of Sacramento because it's their best chance of victory, obviously. Folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA Best Bets here on January 6th. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily NBA Best Bets. Make sure to go check out our college basketball Best Bets as well. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.